Let's talk about the most difficult part of language learning. My name is Caitlin. I'm an American immigrant living here in Portugal. I am learning Portuguese, but living here and learning Portuguese as a native English speaker, which is widely considered the lingua franca of the world, I am in a very different position than many other people who might not speak English. So hearing what they might consider to be the most challenging part of learning a language is very different than it is for me, because generally, I can find somebody to help me. I can find somebody who speaks a bit of English, if not perfectly fluent English. But nonetheless, I am learning Portuguese, and I do have difficulties in learning that language. And for me, the answer is easy. It is the confidence of going from the classroom to real life. Because in a classroom where I have time, and a teacher who is trying to understand me and will correct me and can understand if I throw an English word in now and then, it is very different to go from that to the real world, which often is under a lot of stress. So the places where I encounter people who don't speak English are like in the market when I'm trying to buy food and there's a million other people around and they're in a hurry and they want to get the interaction done quickly, and that's stressful. So recently I've had 3 very positive interactions in Portuguese. One was with a child. I walked out the door of my apartment and there was a child that I know belongs to a neighbor, and he was hanging out there and he kind of looked at me and I said a few words to him and he totally understood what I was saying, because children have very small vocabularies, just like me. And the second was with a Chinese woman who owned a shop that I went into and bought some things, and there was nobody else in the shop. She was not in a hurry, and Portuguese is also her second or third or fourth, I don't know, but it's also a foreign language for her, so her expectations of the words that I was using and her understanding was kind of at the same level as mine. And the third was on a horseback ride. I went out to Alentejo and I went on a ride with this man who is Portuguese, and spoke like a tiny little bit of English that I could use some English words and he would understand me. But the thing that really mattered there is that we were in no hurry. We were on horses. We were out there for about 90 minutes and I knew that he didn't have to be anywhere. So I could kind of think and speak slowly and search for my words, and he didn't care how long it took me to get my idea out. And we were talking about things I understood. We were talking about horses and riding. And so I had a frame of reference that I could follow along with the understanding, even if I didn't understand every word he was saying. So I'd like to make another video on how people can support other people who are learning their language, because I think that really ties into what I find to be the biggest struggles, is how other people interact with me.